So things are now shaping up pretty nicely for Dogecoin. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some very important things for Doge and the overall market. So we can see here that Dogecoin is now showing some positive momentum, and it has now started a slight recovery phase in order to come out of the recent market-wide sell-off. And the good thing is that Doge has been trading in the green for the last 48 hours, and this means that it is showing some continuous strength here. And this is exactly what I have been telling you all when Dogecoin was moving on the downside. I was telling you that it is for the short term only, and Dogecoin will move up again sooner or later. And now we can see that it has moved up a bit and regained support around this range. And if we look at its technical indicators, we can see that some of them have now turned bullish. And the best thing is that Doge has now moved up its 20-day exponential moving average. And this is a very strong bullish indicator for Dogecoin. And I think it is indicating that Doge is going to show some more momentum in the coming trading sessions as well. And we can also see here that the overall market is also rallying up. The global crypto market cap has now moved up slightly. And the good thing is that the total crypto market volume has also increased during the last 24 hours. And another positive thing is that major coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum are also up. And I think they are going to perform better from here. And this is going to be pretty bullish for Dogecoin and other altcoins. And if we come to Bitcoin, it is looking very good at the moment. We can see here that it has successfully cleared the resistance around the 40K level, and I think it is now going to turn this region into a support floor in the coming days. And this positive momentum for Bitcoin is going to help Doge in particular thanks to their high price correlation. So you can see here that Doge has a very high price correlation with Bitcoin, and this on-chain data is now showing us that if Bitcoin manages to move up, then Doge will follow suit. And this is why this positive momentum of Bitcoin is now making me more and more bullish on Dogecoin. And the good thing is that Bitcoin is now highly likely to continue this positive momentum because we are now seeing some very bullish data and updates for it. So first of all, we are now seeing that this is the right time for investors to rush into the Bitcoin market and buy as much as they can, and veteran trader Peter Brandt has suggested that this could be the right time to buy Bitcoin after a 3-month-long battering. He believes that the worst habit of investors is to be obsessed with a certain market. They buy strong rallies driven by FOMO and then sell on corrections driven by fear of losing. And Brandt believes that it is important to learn the opposite. And investors should buy the dips and sell the surges. And I think this is exactly what some investors are doing. In fact, this one is a very important investor, and his recent move can turn out to be very bullish for Bitcoin. So Republican Senator from Texas, Rafael Ted Cruz, has bought between $15K and $50K worth of Bitcoin on January 25th using the River brokerage. So this is just more and more evidence that even American politicians are now turning to the crypto market. In fact, we know that a number of members of Congress, including Democrats Jake Kinloss and Marie Newman, and Republicans Jeff Van Drew and Barry Moore, have disclosed holdings in cryptos. Moreover, all these politicians have been continuously supporting the crypto market. And talking about Ted Cruz, we know that he spent much of the latter half of the crypto bull run aligning himself with the crypto industry. And we also know that his state has previously benefited from an influx of Bitcoin mining companies, and interest in the subject became more widespread recently. And Ted Cruz has even advocated for the acceptance of crypto payments at gift shops and vending machines in the U.S. Capitol complex. So this move from Ted Cruz and other lawmakers is very, very bullish for Bitcoin and all other cryptos. Meanwhile, some key technical and fundamental indicators for Bitcoin are now signaling incoming strength that could catapult its price to new highs. So according to Glassnode, trigger-happy investors seem to have lost their steam, seeing the liveliness of the market fade away, which is good for the price of Bitcoin. Glassnode has indicated that there is a decrease in the on-chain activity, leaving holders in control, which could surge the price of Bitcoin. So the point is that the current market is seeing a preference for holding rather than spending. And this leads to a downtrend in liveliness, typically seen within the context of bear market accumulation phases. So this trend is very positive for Bitcoin, and this is why I think Bitcoin is now going to continue this positive momentum in the coming trading sessions. And now let's come to some other important updates for Bitcoin and the overall crypto market. So the SEC has once again delayed its ruling on whether to approve Grayscale's application for a Bitcoin spot ETF, citing familiar concerns around manipulation, liquidity, and transparency. The SEC expressed concerns about how the digital asset manager intends to convert its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust into a spot ETF. Mainly, the regulator wasn't convinced that Grayscale's proposal was designed to prevent alleged fraud and manipulation in the Bitcoin market. Besides, the SEC has invited the public to comment on these issues, giving interested parties 21 days to respond in writing. Similarly, the SEC has once again delayed its verdict on the Bitwise Spot Bitcoin ETF application. But the good thing for both these ETFs is that the SEC hasn't rejected it, it has only delayed the decision on it. And more importantly, the regulator has invited public comments on certain characteristics of the application. And now we know that the SEC rejected several spot Bitcoin ETF applications in recent months, denying WisdomTree, Krypton, SkyBridge, and Fidelity from listing their spot Bitcoin ETFs. But now the SEC is changing its stance, and instead of outright rejecting the ETFs as it did with other proposed spot Bitcoin ETFs, it is now looking for public opinion. And this means that the SEC is now having a more positive approach towards Bitcoin spot ETFs. And talking about Bitcoin ETFs, we are now seeing that institutional investors in Canada have been heavily investing in Bitcoin ETFs. And just recently, a Canada-based Purpose Bitcoin ETF attracted over $38 million worth of Bitcoin in a single day, its third largest daily inflow to date. And according to data provided by Glassnode, investors poured about 1,000 Bitcoin into the fund, showing the rise in Bitcoin accumulation amid the recent price dip. So it is now clear that more and more investors want to invest in Bitcoin and crypto-backed funds. And another evidence of it is that despite some fear in the crypto market, institutional investors appear to be re-accumulating Bitcoin using dedicated funds. And we can see here that crypto investment products saw $19 million worth of cumulative inflows last week. And Bitcoin and multi-asset funds led the gains with $22 million and $32 million worth of inflows, respectively. So this is a very positive thing for the crypto market. But the most important thing is that this rising interest of investors in crypto funds will encourage the US SEC to finally accept spot Bitcoin ETFs. And another very positive update for the crypto market is that the government of Belarus is now trying to make it easier for institutional investors to invest in crypto assets. So we are now seeing that Belarus is preparing to permit investment funds to put money into digital currencies. And the Ministry of Finance has put forward new provisions which will extend the tax exemptions for entities working with collective investments until January 1, 2031. So this means that crypto adoption is going to rise in the country. And while it is going to benefit the overall crypto market, the most important thing is that this move by Belarus is going to inspire other countries as well. So overall, this is positive news for the crypto market. And another positive thing is that another American senator is endorsing cryptos. So Senator Pat Toomey has recently stated that crypto assets are here to stay, and every thoroughly diversified portfolio should have some cryptos. Moreover, he revealed that he began accumulating some cryptos years ago, and he has believed the best approach for generating long-term wealth is to have a highly diversified investment portfolio with some cryptos. And he believes that since cryptos have become a meaningfully sized asset class, maintaining a well-diversified investment portfolio now means owning some crypto. Meanwhile, famous writer and investor Robert Kiyosaki has yet again come up in support of Bitcoin. He recently tweeted that the Central Bank of the United States is destroying the dollar's purchasing power, and this is why he believes that people should buy Bitcoin. Moreover, he believes that those who save the US dollar are heading towards financial hell, and those who save their resources in Bitcoin, gold, and silver will be much safer in the near future. So we are now seeing that Robert Kiyosaki is continuously endorsing Bitcoin since he regards it as an alternative store of value. And I think his support is very positive for Bitcoin because it will encourage more and more investors to start investing in it. So we have just seen some very bullish updates and data for Bitcoin. And I think since Bitcoin is already looking good right now, it will continue to show some strength in the coming days as well. And this is going to be very important for Dogecoin since it will also move up thanks to its high price correlation with Bitcoin.